What's up guys, welcome back to Bardock Super Saiyan 3. He looks really good as Super Saiyan 3. This is from a Dokkan image, I think. It's kind of a cool pose as well. Don't see this pose much in Dragon Ball Landscape page. Use a pencil, use an eraser for these, sketch them out lightly. Hit pause. If it go too fast, you can do your ink on top of pencil. So it's better with pencil first because you can erase mistakes and stuff. Go. Trying to fit in all this hair, head real small, zoom in. So head's over here. Frowning eyebrow. It's like a check mark or a tick line. And they don't have any hair on their eyebrows, so they just do this little sort of, what would you call it, a brow area? But it's not the eyebrow area. The other side goes a different direction because his head is kind of turned away from us, so it goes up. It's a bit smaller, it's not as long. It's close though. And then we'll have some like frowning sort of brow lines there. The eyes are kind of the same size, I guess. So we'll go diagonal long and then short there, and then we curve these together. Like so. Right, and then very, very small green iris line kind of looking up there. The other one kind of tucked in here, so we do that small line, or the longer one, and then you have a short line there, and then you curve this together. And then we can barely see his green eye looking up there. Cheek lines. Underneath, they're just like little sort of hatching lines underneath his eyes. And then his nose, so standard pointy sort of Dragon Ball nose. So it goes there and then in. And then it goes up like a little hook. And then you draw the shadow underneath, like a little triangle under there. So super grumpy Dragon Ball mouth. Curving down just right underneath that nose there. And he's got like little hatching lines just on the side of the face. And then bottom lip sort of shadow there. And then the chin. Like that. So center line for his face is here, right? Kind of curves. And his head is turned away from us. So we have a jaw on this side, cheek on this side. So jaw first. So it goes this way. Okay, and then this changes direction about in line with it. You go, make sure you're going past his eye for that jaw. So you're up underneath this part and across from his nose. And then the jaw turns and goes up towards his earlobe on that side. Just make sure you're past his eye when you go from the chin. So the chin is like starting underneath the middle of his eye. And then you go there. Just make sure you're, you don't want to jaw here because you'll hit his eye. And that's where his ear should be. So cheek goes a different direction, right? So it curves out and then it changes its direction and goes up towards the eyebrow. Up there, right? And we have that star-shaped sort of scar on his face. Like so, right? His ears starts beside his eyebrows. So you have his like sideburn sort of here, which disappears underneath his headband, but then the ear starts coming out here. And then inside. Like that. And then this headband comes out from here, so it like bumps around his head, and then it goes down like that. And he has a hair spike that comes out from the other side of it, so the other side up here. And there's like some texture lines on this, you know, little curvy lines just come around like that. And then this big singular hair spike, boom. Some texture lines here. Go up, across, down. Reminds me of Beast Gohan's one hair spike that he has there. Looks like Piccolo a bit, doesn't it? I suppose it's because of the headband thing. Okay. Now, so a lot of the hair goes behind his body, but we do have like the standard sort of Super Saiyan shape here, and then it gets real long going behind his arm and his body. So we'll probably have to do the hair in like 2 steps, or like 2 passes at it. So we'll just get the smaller spikes in here first, and they're kind of like shark fins, you know, kind of with little sort of changes of direction on them. 2 there, another one here, and one sticks out this side, goes behind his shoulders over here, so it kind of like stops there. And then there's one behind his ear and coming out from here as well. We'll go this way. It's like a bigger one in here. Right. And then another one going this way. Down. And they get kind of crazy then. So we start to go behind the body now. So I'll just kind of do a little spike there. We'll finish it when we get the arm in. Just some big ones in here as well. Ridiculously big now down here. This goes off the bottom. Right, so all that then goes in behind his body, and there's some more over this side, but we'll get some of the texture lines. So on each hair spike, just add a couple of lines that follow each hair spike shape. 2 or 3 is enough. Some people like to do more. Depends on what sort of style you like, or how much time you got. Right. Now, body, right? So he's got these tubes around his neck, so it's useful to kind of get those in first, right? So kind of coming around here. Right, and they come down to these sort of bumping spikes on his chest. And they're kind of like connected with the costume just in here. And then there is some rings on these, just carving over the tube shape. Kind of a cylinder sort of thing. So neck and chest muscles inside. Chest muscles carving over. Like a carving sort of letter Y shape. And then we have neck muscles that go into there. And there's Adam's apple. Boop. So top torso sort of armor area. So side of his chest here, and then his body down that way. He has his tail wrapped around. It's kind of like a belt, and it gets kind of fuzzy and zigzag sort of textured hair here. So it's like a belt coming around his waist, but it's his tail. And then there is some armor details inside this. We've got the white rim. It's kind of like Super Saiyan armor, like Vegeta's sort of in the Saiyan saga, but it's black. And then we get some little chest lines here. And this seems to go underneath his shoulder muscle somewhere here. We've got his back, so it's like shoulder muscle here, but we'll just get the armor in. So it's like a little white line there. And there's like gold here and gold on his belly. We got these, curved lines that are on the Saiyan armor. So he has more armor coming down here, these sort of fins that hang over his thighs. And the other one goes behind his leg on that side. So it's got a white edge and then curved lines over. And right, so his leg then goes off this way. Big muscular thigh, like hamstring and thigh. There's like sort of muscles, and it looks like his kneecap gone that way. And then his hamstring gone that way, there. And the hair spike comes back here. And that sort of piece of armor hangs down the other side on this leg. This thing, but over here, it's sort of hanging down, hidden behind his leg, right? Arms and hands. So, crazy big shoulder muscle. Kind of like a love heart sort of shape. And here it's kind of pointy down here. You could have like some deltoid muscle lines inside, the striations of the muscle. And bicep, a real sort of blocky shape. And this tricep is above that, so you usually have two muscles in your tricep. And then its forearm, so it kind of gradually gets a bit smaller as we go down. Goes into a glove that has two sort of levels to it. So we've got like, it's like a pink fabric, or red. Looks pink in the image. And then there's like a wrist guard. With some lines on it down here. Okay, and then we can see his hand. So we got this double sort of bump here. This is this part. So it joins the thumb. So it goes up. Always curving when you're doing fingers. Very rare you'd see straight lines on fingers, especially in a drawing. Okay, so he's doing this claw sort of shape. Goes that way. Very blocky sort of fingers in Dragon Ball. Like that. Hands are hard now, so hit pause if I'm moving too fast. These are the top knuckles, sort of curved over. They're kind of roughly drawn in. They don't do a great amount of detail on them. The pinky, you can barely see it. Just well, it's not the pinky, I guess. It's the ring finger. Okay, I'll just fill in the hair around then. It's like another hair spike here. And last but not least, well, it's not last. So what I just said doesn't matter. Shoulder. Kind of like this rounder shape than the other side because we're looking at the side of it. And then tricep is like real bumpy there, and then bicep. Going that way, down there. It's like this wristband again, right? So it's kind of red. And then it comes to the black area. That seems to have little rings on it. And then a very, very small drawn in hand, right? So it like bumps around here again. You can barely see any of this one. It's very roughly drawn. You can just kind of see knuckles. Two of them. Okay. So then there is another hair spike here. Maybe another one here. I think we got it all. Bardock. Super Saiyan 3. Cool form. Love Bardock as a character though. Hope it's helpful. Thanks for watching. See you next one. Bye.